G'day YouTube, it is Blazed here, bringing you a Warzone class setup video for the M13. The M13 is a well-rounded assault rifle for Warzone and is probably the best pick for people starting out in first-person shooters due to the low and easy to manage recoil. The M13 can be one of the biggest laser beams in the game when decked out for recoil control, however it does have its downsides. And there is one very obvious flaw with this weapon, and it is its iron sights. Meaning unless you like to look through its monstrosity of a sight and try and shoot your target, and I do mean try, because let's face it, if they are running and zigzagging at range, you will lose them in that sight. So let's get down to it. Now as for nearly every weapon we will do a class on, the monolithic suppressor is pretty much a must. The extra range and you're not showing up on the radar when you shoot, there's literally no downside to this attachment. Again, if you don't have it unlocked, you will either need to put up with showing on the radar and picking up another attachment, or run the slightly worse tactical suppressor. Now there is another option which I will discuss with the barrels. Now the muzzle is taken care of, you will definitely need a barrel. For the M13 you want range and recoil control. Although the recoil control isn't really needed, it does aid in this weapon becoming the laser beam it was meant to be. So the Tempest Marksman is what you want to be running, as it is the only barrel to increase both the range and recoil control on the M13. Now you can also run the Tempest Cyclone, which cancels your muzzle attachment and still lets you have sound suppression. It has very similar stats to the monolithic suppressor, but it also aids your recoil. The only downside to this is you can't use a Tempest Marksman, which combined with the monolithic suppressor greatly increases the weapon's effective range in comparison. But there is a positive, as it lets you run 4 other attachments instead of 3, which I'll get into in a moment. Now you will definitely want to run an underbarrel foregrip, which will either be the Commando or Ranger, which again are going to be just about mandatory on most weapons due to the benefit of recoil control. Now is where the loadout splits into 2. If you are running a muzzle and a barrel, you will only have 2 more options available, which will be extended magazines. Again, you have the option of the 50 or 60 round magazines, which is up to you to decide if the extra 10 bullets is worth the added hit to movement speed. And then you'll most likely want to put a sight on the gun, as like I said earlier, the iron sights are trash. Because of this, it does stop the M13 from being a tier 1 weapon, as you are missing the possible tack laser, M13 stealth skeleton stock, and stipple grip tape, which absolutely sucks. Now I didn't delve into the sight to choose, as everyone likes different ones. There is a standard red dot sights like the Viper or even the monocle sight, which is what I usually go for. And then there are the thermal sights, which are really good for people new to Warzone, as they can help you spot people around you a bit easier. And then there are the toggle sights to help in the long distance and mid-range confrontations. You are best to experiment and find the one that suits your playstyle. And anyway, now I did say there was an alternate build for this weapon, which is only possible with the Cyclone barrel, as it frees up an attachment slot. So if you go to the Cyclone barrel, you'll be running a foregrip, and then you can pick up the 300 Blackout magazine, which will increase your TTK. Sorry, decrease your TTK. Make it quicker for you to kill people, but it will add a little bit of recoil. The reason you won't want to run this with the muzzle and barrel both in use is because you will need sleight of hand to reload or to take out multiple people, which requires an attachment slot. Now with that perk being used, you will once again want to grab a sight for this gun, and as I'm not sure I've said this already, the iron sights are trash. But if for some insane reason you like the iron sights, then pick up either the stippled grip tape, rear grip, or the M13 skeleton stock option. Now I'm not sure which loadout I prefer to run on the M13, so I'll show you both the options I would consider running. You can see by looking at both one after the other, the main points of notice are that the blackout round loadout is a lot better with mobility, whilst the muzzle and barrel loadout has better recoil management and a bigger magazine. So both have their benefits over the other, and since I have given a host of options outside of the main loadouts I have mentioned, you could try swapping out a foregrip for a rear grip, or stock if you want to test that out, but you will need more recoil control if you do go down that route. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and don't forget to help us out and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, and give us some feedback in the comments below. We would love to hear from you. So that's been me. I'll see you guys in the next one. Laters.